Welcome patrons. So this video is a little unexpected, as what I wanted to do ended up being a lot larger than I thought and needs more time. So very quickly, let's talk about one of the first fan theories that I heard for the Dragon Age series. There's more to Sera than meets the eye. The theory. Sera is more than she seems. She is a vessel of Andrul, much like Flemethis to Mythal. Or she's one of the ancient Elven. Or a spirit made into a person like Cole. Or a large amount of other things that people have picked, but I'm only going to be focusing on the first three as those are the ones I've heard most often. The evidence. This is going to be a bit of a tricky subject to explore, as while a lot of the theories use a lot of the same evidence, some come to different conclusions as to what they mean. In this case, I'll be presenting the most common proof as a whole and letting you pick out the meaning. Sera's banter. Sera has a lot of odd banter, particularly with both Cole and Solas. I've picked out a few selections, so let's listen.
There are songs in every part of you, Sera. Soft, silly, sibilant, sighing in silence, waiting for you to hear them. Sera, no matter how you turn your head, your ears point to the fade. Do you do it on purpose? When you fire your bow, it hums after every time. Your mind makes it quiet, but if you heard it backwards, it would sound longer, a thrum through the gut. The sky wants to say something. It's trying, tempting, words in the wind, whistling, wandering, wasted.
Have we been here? I mean, right here, doing exactly this. It feels weird.
Yes, but not how you mean. In the soft, thin places, spirits push with memories that didn't happen, or did, or might.
Weird.
Sera, what are you feeling?
Oh, here we go. It's nothing. It just feels like I've seen this. Exactly this. It happens.
Not to everyone.
It's not an elf thing. Inquisitor's not shaking. I suppose now you'll switch to how I'm the same but different.
You are different. You are the furthest from what you were meant to be.
Well, I've definitely heard piss like this before.
What color is the sky, Sera?
Hang on.
It is an earnest question. What color is the sky when you look at it?
You know, blue mostly. Except for the breachy bits.
And when you looked past the breach? As perhaps you were drawn to do.
Greenish? And clear a long ways and kind of felt like falling. Ugh, makes my head hurt. You make my head hurt.
We are not so far apart, you and I.
We will be.
Adathanas Elgara Masula Eva Venan. Excuse me?
Excuse yourself. Whatever you said and what I did, same difference to me.
I'd hoped, well, our people can sometimes feel the rhythm of the language, despite lacking the vocabulary.
So what does this all mean? It can mean a lot of things. For the most part, Solas and Cole seem to be very insistent on talking to Sera about her heritage, the Fade, and spirits. Tarot cards. From what I can tell, a part of this theory originated in the BioWare social network forums, which are no longer up, so I was unable to uncover who made the original image, but let's take a look at this. Here we see Sera's second tarot card that unlocks when you complete her personal quest. The original poster compares it to the Valislin of Andrul and how similar the two look. For a comparison, here are all of Andrul's Valislin that appeared in the games. The idea behind this is that Sera's tarot card has a hidden message that she is connected to Andrul. Body type. If you have tried to equip any Dalish armor on Sera, you've noticed that you can't, but she is able to wear human armor. Sera is also taller and thicker than the Elven Inquisitor and most Elven NPCs. But she isn't the only elf in our party with a unique body type. So is Solas. His shoulders are much wider than that of the Elven Inquisitor. The Elven Sentinels in the Temple of Mythal also have a similar body type to Solas and are much larger than the other Elven NPCs in the game. I would also add in the female figure that we see in the Well of Sorrows. From context, one would assume that the figure could be Mythal, or at the very least an elf. But the figure that was used was a human model. But why not just use an elf model? Perhaps because the elven model didn't look like an ancient elf, but the human model was the closest thing they had. And perhaps this is reading too much into it, but this isn't even the first time that BioWare has used human models to represent the Elven. In Dragon Age Origins, during the werewolf questline, we find a ghost of a small boy speaking Elven, along with what we can assume to be his Elven-speaking mother, except both models are human. From this, Sera's body type is more similar to an ancient elf, perhaps because she is an ancient elf, or a vessel for one, or something else. The rebuttal. So to be honest, with this level of tinfoil, there just isn't a solid argument against this. Perhaps mostly because there isn't a solid argument for it either. But from the 3 points I've listed previously, I will say this. Banter. Sera is an elf. While it is odd that Cole and Solus don't treat an elven inquisitor the same, the game wasn't exactly designed with a non-human protagonist in mind. This is most apparent in Canary and Dwarven playthroughs where a character is either too tall or too short for the screen, and this might just be another example. Anyway, Sera hates her culture, and that is such a large part of her character. Of course Solus is going to bring it up at every chance he can, trying to connect her to what he clings to so dearly. Cole likes to help the hurt, and Sera's loud objections to her culture raises a large red flag to me, and can signify inner turmoil, anxiety, and perhaps even self-loathing due to her heritage, and Cole's picking up on that. Hell, during her cookie time, she even says, well, this.
She hid buying them by keeping me away from the baker. She did that by lying that he didn't like me, didn't like elves. She let me hate so she could protect her pride. I hated him so much, and I hated...
What else did she hate? She hated herself, and Cole is trying to help with that. The tarot card.
I mean, it's a bow. It's a common design. I just don't see how this is proof.
Body type. I think this again says more about Sera's relationship with her culture than her being special. Even in Dragon Age Inquisition, armors for specific races read race trained only. Sera was trained by humans, and she would probably refuse to wear Dalish clothing anyway. Iron Bull also has a unique body type, but no one is talking about how special he is. Perhaps Sera is just thicker because she eats a lot. Perhaps she's taller just because she is. Perhaps it was a subtle way to let the player know that she refuses to do anything elfy, even giving her a human body type, a subtle storytelling. In short, I want to tell an unrelated story. Sigmund Freud made a name for himself in the world of psychologies for many reasons, but one that sticks today is how weirdly sexual his theories were. As a man, did you not like your father? Bam, you want to sleep with your mother. Do you doing something slightly masculine, perhaps like smoking a cigar? Bam, you wish you had a penis. Freud had a lot of wild theories, and they did sort of make sense at the time, and some actually still hold today, but not everything has a hidden meaning, guys. Sometimes the cigar is just a cigar, and I think this is true for Sera. Sera as a hidden, mysterious, or powerful figure cheapens her. Sera as an individual who has insecurities with her culture and identity makes her a unique and deep character. So while this theory may one day be proven true, it's one of the few theories that I have covered that is better and more interesting when proven false. And that, dear patrons, is all that I will say on any theory regarding Sera being unique. Hopefully by next week, the script that I wanted to do today will be ready, but who knows. To be open about my situation right now, I'm very close to graduating, and I'm also job hunting at the same time, so the next couple of weeks, perhaps even months, might be a bit hectic. While I do want to stick with my current schedule, sometimes soon lore videos might actually have to start going up on a different day. Anyway, do you still have lingering questions, proof that I'm wrong, comments about your own fan theory? Feel free to tweet me at @Gildathon on Twitter or send a PM to user Gillanon on Reddit. Daresh Shiral.